What is a dirty business tactic that you know and everyone should be aware of it? If you're buying a used car and it's parked over a puddle, they don't want you to look underneath. Oh, that's fucking a disgustingly dirty move. Mattress stores that have the "find it anywhere else for cheaper, you get your money back" deal contract with a manufacturer to make the exact same model of bed, but with a model name specific to that store, so nobody can ever cash in on that deal. Best Buy does this as well to avoid price matching. You'll notice a B or something at the end of the product number, which makes it a different product. Not sure if this fits, but if you are offered a raise for taking on new responsibilities, get it in writing. Just learned that the hard way. Been there myself. Manager promoted me. Said pay raises will come soon based on performance. Then suddenly he wasn't my manager anymore. No paper trail of the promotion or promised pay raises, but I was still stuck with the extra responsibility. Edit. Previous job. Bet your ass I quit. No paper trail of extra responsibilities though, either. Every month and every 4 weeks sound similar, but are different. Paying every month gets you 12 payments. Every 4 weeks gets you 13. Edit. Thanks for top comment. Just something my dad taught me when I first got a debit card. Yep. Gold's Gym changed their pricing structure a few years back to bill you $18 bi-weekly instead of $35 per month. At a glance, it looked like a small $2 per month increase, but in reality it was $2 per month more, plus 2 extra payments per year. I complained and they kept me on the previous plan, the saying I was grandfathered in since I'd had a membership for like 5 years. Edit. It's only a $1 per month increase. I suck at math. Edit number 2. To clarify, I meant to correct the part where I said, it looked like a small $2 per month increase. $18 times 2 equals $36. Up from $35 per month. Looks like a $1 per month increase. But it's that plus the 2 extra payments per year, plus the extra opportunities for them to collect late fees. I'm very hungover. Please give me a pass on this one. When finding a home for your elderly parents, set up an appointment to come in a few minutes early and say, don't ask if you can walk around for a quick look. The receptionist likely won't refuse you, and the salesperson won't be ready for you. These places like to show you only the stuff they want you to see when being led around by a sales person. Chat with a resident or a staff member. They'll be the most honest with you. Another tip, ask the local fire department their opinion of the place. They respond to the home's 911 calls and see how put together the nursing staff is when your parents need them the most. Source: was an EMT for years and responded to multiple nursing homes. Some of them were worse than a prison, and I would rather mercy kill my loved one than put them in those places. Edit. Holy shit, my first gold. I'm happy it's a post where I discuss mercy killing my parents. Edit 2. Fuck it, I don't live there anymore, so I'll give some advice about the area I worked. Temple, Texas. Under no fucking circumstances should you allow your loved ones to go into Regency Manor. None. If you want details and you're in the area, feel free to drop me a line. Ask about fire procedures too. When I worked in a care home, we would do a fire test weekly. We all had extensive fire evacuation training. We knew exactly which residents would need to be moved in a specific way. We knew where each exit was and that if it wasn't safe to leave, shut the door. Put some wet towels in the gap between the door and floor and keep close to the window. I went for a job interview at a different home. Asked about fire evacuation and they looked at me like I had 2 heads. In Nova Scotia, Canada, severance pay is paid on the average of your last 30 days of pay. This means that some companies will actually reduce your hours to minimum your last month with them, if they're going to lay you off. Happened to me wife. She worked for this company for 5 years. Worked 35 plus hours per week. Suddenly, she wasn't getting shifts. Boom. Layoff notice. happen to other folks too. Call the Labor Board. IDK about in Nova Scotia, but here in Ontario that's illegal. Even if she quit because she wasn't getting enough hours due to them reducing it, she'd still be entitled to pay. They cannot reduce your hours by more than a certain percent each week. Can't remember the percent. Can tell you I have fought this and won. This is known as constructive dismissal, where the terms of your employment change so drastically that the Labor Board considers it equivalent to being fired. You should be entitled to employment benefits based on the hours prior to your constructive dismissal. Offering insurance on anything that does not have the potential to be financially debilitating. 1. To insure your DVD rental. Fuck off. 1. To insure your Lego set, lady. If the Lego truck breaks, I'll just build it again. You should get the insurance. Then a few months later send pictures of the crash complete with blood on the driver's side door. And repair estimates from no less than 3 certified Lego mechanics. And don't forget to take down the Lego insurance information from the driver of the Lego spaceship that hit your truck. The matter might have to be settled in court. Some stores increase the price of a product and then put it on sale by a percentage of the fake higher price. This is the epitome of every J. Crew factory sale. Yeah, problem with this is when JCPenney's tried to do away with this system. They failed, and failed hard. They lost millions of dollars and customers absurdly quick. In an effort to be honest with the consumer, I worked in the collections department of Discover Card for a while. One thing they did, maybe still do, to lure customers to them is offer a 0% APR for the first year. People would jump on this and transfer all their debt onto their new Discover Card. And then the company would conveniently not send the first month's bill. In the fine print of the agreement, it states that if you miss even one payment in that first year, your APR will jump to 29.95%. Half of my calls were to these new customers who would then proceed to throw a fit because they didn't ever get the bill, and I had to explain to them that it was their job to know when the bill was due, and sending one was just a courtesy extended by the company. I hated that job. It ate away at my soul. In the U.S., the Federal Card Act in 2010 made it a requirement to send a bill 21 days before the due date. If this was after that, they weren't just being slimy but straight up illegal. When I was in the process of moving into my current home, I transferred the title of my old home and land to my sister because she was buying it and moving in when I left. Within the next few weeks, she started getting all the welcome to the neighborhood coupons and flyers. She didn't even change her address. So I assume companies track title changes with a register of deeds. The sketchiest was a pest control company claiming to have an existing account on the property and recommending she continue to use their services. They detailed dates and changes, referenced termites. It was all lies. All the dates shown were while I owned the property, and I never even heard of this company before. She received that letter. Edit. A word. Edit 2. People are prying and I don't want to give too much info. But this took place in North Carolina. I am aware that title changes are public record, but I was surprised by the speed. The small town I live in can take up to 2 months to update their online public databases. Clearly there are ways to get the info I was not aware of. I feel like that one is one you should actually report to someone. We have many more clients interested in this limited offer. I've actually said, "Then why do you need me?" in response to this a few times. Sometimes I get a stammering, well, wisey, I'm trying to help you, in response. But one time the dude just laughed and said, "Okay, ya got me." The second guy would have my bus signs by sheer virtue of not insulting my intelligence any longer. Or was that his ploy all along? It might very well have been his ploy all along. And if so, I'd probably have to say, "Okay, ya got me," right back at him. #wake up sheeple. Yates' sense of urgency is annoying. When moving out of a rental apartment house, make sure to take lots of pictures and ask the owner, landlord to do a walkthrough with you. Video the walkthrough. That way if they do not give you all your deposit back, you have something to take to court vs a he said which you generally lose. When you turn in cable, internet equipment, make sure to get a full receipt showing what they took in and the date it was received. Scan this and email to a couple different email accounts. Comcast and others are bad about losing the equipment a couple years later, after you forget, and then billing you. CYA. Similarly, take pics of any existing damage to a rental as soon as you move in and email it to the landlord leasing office. I did this after a landlord told us he took the last tenant's entire security deposit for damage. To be fair, it sounded like the tenant really messed shit up. I took that as a flag, and sent him a very detailed email of every hint of damage I could find. 12 months later, after we moved out, he emailed me to say he was going to deduct $100 from our security for damage. I reminded him of the email I sent him, and never heard from the fucker again. Edit. As my highest rated comment to date. This is literally the best experience involving that landlord I ever had. A local lawn maintenance business takes advantage of unsuspecting customers in 3 ways. 1. On monthly bills, they double the state tax. Instead of being, say, 6%, it'll actually be 12%, if you check the math. 2. Without discussing it with homeowners, they charge double for double cuts when the grass is a little taller in areas than usual. So, if you had agreed to pay $50 per mowing, the monthly bill says $100 for each visit. They never ask, they just do it and charge double. In most cases, it's just a small patch of the yard that has taller grass, not the entire thing. 3. They're supposed to mow once per week, but without telling customers first. They start mowing every 5 days, which means they get to charge for more mowing visits per month than necessary. All of this sounds like it's illegal, especially the doubled state tax. Edit. First comment to get 1K karma. The closing down sale in the shop that never closes down. It's just in closing down sale mode continuously. I'm amazed shops are allowed to get away with this. Closing down sale until 5 p.m. Grand reopening sale tomorrow at 9 a.m. I live, I die, I live again. Removed. Word also has the compare feature under the review tab that lets you compare 2 documents by generating a redlined version showing all differences between the 2. Debt collectors will have detectives call you from a number that appears to be a legitimate law enforcement agency when you Google it. It's actually a spoof caller ID using a legitimate agency's fax number. The detective will threaten arrest and throw around names of local judges. The debt collector will claim to not know the detective who left the message, but will be willing to take care of your debt. Edit time. Yes, it's illegal, but it's very hard to prove, and that's why they do it. Law enforcement or courts will only call you in the case of theft, like a hot check, but will never call for an old debt. It's civil and they don't have jurisdiction. I think my phone has a bad connection. Let me call you right back on the department number. What's your name badge so I can get the receipt to direct me back to you? Quote, do this for everything, even on seemingly innocuous stuff. Especially if your bank's fraud department is calling you and asking questions. My bank's fraud department is automated. If it detects fraud, then you get a call with a simple, do you recognize these last 6 charges? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You input no personal information. No person contacts you asking about stuff. I travel a lot, so my card gets flagged for fraud relatively often. Then again, it does look suspicious as hell to have charges in 4 states across 3 time zones in a 24-hour period, so I appreciate their diligence. This is the best way to do it. Mine will send me a text asking me to text back yes or no if the purchase was made by me. I trust it so much more than an unknown number. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.